Today, we're going to crack open the work of a famously pessimistic philosopher to build a surprisingly practical guide for modern social life. Now, his advice might not make you popular, but it just might keep you sane.
You know that feeling, right? You leave a party or a meeting and you're just completely drained. You're replaying conversations in your head, wondering, oh man, did I say the wrong thing? It can seriously feel like every single interaction is just a new chance to misstep. Well, that philosopher is Arthur Schopenhauer. And look, he was not interested in helping you become the life of the party. His goal was totally different: self-preservation. He created this cynical, but you have to admit, effective playbook for navigating a world that he saw as just full of ego, jealousy, and manipulation.
So, where do you start? According to Schopenhauer, before you can even think about facing the world, you first have to build your own inner fortress. The goal here isn't to be antisocial. It's to create a core of stability and peace that's so solid that no amount of chaos on the outside can ever shake it.
Okay, so how do you build this fortress? Schopenhauer gives us three foundational pillars. First up, fierce independence, because relying on other people just makes you vulnerable. Second, a deep appreciation for solitude, which he saw as the only space where you can get true self-discovery. And third, and yeah, this one is the tough one, radically limiting your expectations of other people.
That first pillar, independence, was a total deal-breaker for Schopenhauer. He believed every social obligation, every little dependency, was basically a potential chain. So limiting those ties wasn't about being cold, it was about protecting your most valuable asset, your freedom and your peace of mind.
And this idea leads directly to his love of solitude. As he wrote, "A man can be himself only so long as he is alone." I mean, just think about that for a second. For Schopenhauer, social life forces us to constantly perform, to put on an act. Being alone wasn't about loneliness. It was the only time we could finally drop the act and connect with who we really are.
All right, so your inner fortress is secure. Now, Schopenhauer turns his attention outward, because even the strongest walls need a really good defense system at the gate, right? This is where you craft your social shield.
And this is where Schopenhauer's advice really clashes with our modern culture of, radical honesty. He would have been absolutely horrified by the idea of total transparency. For him, revealing too much about yourself wasn't brave. It was basically like handing your opponent a weapon right before a fight. His approach? Strategic openness.
So this shield is built from a few key materials. You use a kind of cool, strategic politeness to keep people at a comfortable distance. You practice controlled self-presentation. You only share what's absolutely necessary. And, maybe most surprisingly, Schopenhauer advised sometimes concealing your own intelligence, because showing off more often than not provokes jealousy, not admiration.
Let's be super clear about this. Politeness in his system has nothing to do with warmth or making friends. It is a purely functional tool. It's like a beautifully crafted, non-threatening fence that keeps others exactly where you want them, at arm's length, without ever starting a fight.
Fortress built, shield in hand. Now we are ready for the battlefield itself, the day-to-day social encounter. And Schopenhauer provides a tactical guide for navigating conversations and, crucially, for spotting trouble before it even starts.
Schopenhauer identifies certain social archetypes that you just have to avoid. First up is the fool. Now, this isn't just someone you disagree with. It's someone who makes rational debate completely impossible. His advice? Don't even try. They will drag you down to their level and beat you with experience. It's a fight you just can't win on your terms.
The second archetype to watch out for is the flatterer. This person isn't just being nice. They are using praise as a tool to manipulate you. Recognizing flattery for what it really is, a potential power play, is an absolutely key defensive skill.
So this all comes together in your tactical toolkit. It's about being a really sharp observer of human nature, choosing silence over pointless arguments, and developing a keen radar for manipulation, especially when it's disguised as a compliment.
Of all these tools, this one might just be the most powerful. Schopenhauer was convinced that what you don't say is often your greatest strategic advantage. Silence prevents you from making mistakes, from revealing too much, or from getting pulled into conflicts you never wanted in the first place.
So, at this point, you might be wondering, why all the shields and fortresses and tactical silence? I mean, it sounds kind of exhausting, but for Schopenhauer, it all stems from one fundamental truth about the world as he saw it.
It is so important to understand that this playbook is not for making friends or becoming popular.
The ultimate prize here is what's called equanimity, a state of unshakable inner calm. It's a philosophy built on the belief that real wisdom requires a strategic detachment from society, prioritizing your own peace above everything else.
And if you want to know what that priority looks like in practice, well, here it is. For Schopenhauer, a truly well-lived life dedicates the vast majority of its time to solitude and inner work. Socializing, it's not gone, but it's pushed to a small, carefully chosen slice of your time. It's not the main course.
And all of this leaves us with the big question, doesn't it? Is this a wise path to finding tranquility in a really difficult world? Or does walling yourself off like this just create a lonely, well-fortified prison? That's definitely something to think about.